AM 590 WCAB Rutherfordton with FM translator service on W265 DW at 100.9. From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The Department of Homeland Security getting a new chief. Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen submitting her resignation at a meeting with the president over the weekend. She will stay on until Wednesday, when Customs and Border Protection head Kevin McAleen will take over as acting secretary. Here's ABC's Karen Travers at the White House.
President Trump says there's a crisis at the U.S. southern border. He's declared a national emergency to try and shift funding to build his promised border wall. But now with the departure of Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen, the three agencies that directly deal with the border, DHS, Defense, and Interior, are all now run by acting secretaries, officials who are in charge on an interim basis and not confirmed by the Senate.
A Chinese woman who made it through several layers of security at the president's Mar-a-Lago club in Florida faces a judge today. Investigators say Yujing Zhang was caught with a thumb drive full of malware. The American woman and her tour guide in Uganda have both been returned after being kidnapped in a national park. ABC's Ian Pannell is there. He says Kimberly Sue Endicott was freed after a ransom was paid.
A massive police and army hunt was launched, scouring the skies and the land in search of the pair. We can report that highly sensitive negotiations have been going on for days to secure their release. FBI negotiators actively involved. Ugandan police now releasing a statement saying the two were recovered unharmed, in good health, and in the safe hands of the Joint Security Team.
Demands for answers in South Carolina after the death of a 10-year-old girl who got into a fight with a classmate. Ashley Wright is Rihanna's mother. She spoke exclusively with ABC News.
I sent my child to school feeling like she can be protected while she's not in my care anymore. I want to know everything, and they didn't have no answers for me at all.
American Airlines now says it's canceling 90 flights a day in early June because of the grounding of its fleet of 737 MAX 8 jets. This is ABC News.
It's amazing but true. When it comes to one of America's biggest household expenditures, healthcare, a lot of people think they've got no choice. People are used to thinking we have to do it this way, but they don't. Yes, you have the freedom to choose an alternative with your healthcare. It's MediShare, and it costs way less than the alternatives. The typical family saves $500 a month, not a year, a month. And if you're single, this can save you a lot too. And let's face it, a big reason MediShare is 400,000 people strong, it just works. They've shared over $3 billion in medical bills, so they can help share your needs too. Joining MediShare for so many people is one of those things that makes you say, why didn't I do this before? So yes, the time has come for something better. Look into joining MediShare and see why so many people are opting out of the old way and into the new. Why not look into this? Just call 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
Strong storms leaving behind a mess in the Houston area.
The thunderstorm that tore through the Houston area was fast moving, but furious.
I was completely shocked when I opened up to let the dogs out and there was no fence.
Vanessa Nero lives in the city of Humble, Texas.
Oh my gosh, like it was crazy.
In nearby Pasadena, says Fire Chief Art Aleman.
We do have broken poles, power lines down. We do have a building that's partial collapse.
But was unoccupied only because it was the weekend. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Critical week for Brexit starting in Great Britain.
Cross-party talks aimed at jump-starting plans for Brexit are penciled in ahead of the UK's currently standing Friday deadline for leaving the European Union. But the Prime Minister has run down the clock. Opposition Labour Party lawmaker Lisa Nandy.
We want to leave with a deal. It's the question of what that deal looks like where talks have stalled and that still needs to be resolved. But I hope that those discussions will continue in earnest this week and that we'll start to see a resolution.
But Theresa May isn't in a very compromising mood, despite the fact that her much-maligned plan is already a three-time parliamentary loser. Tom Rivers, ABC News, London.
A new study says kids who see doctors digitally by telemedicine, not in person, are far more likely to be prescribed antibiotics. The study in the journal Pediatrics out today says many of those prescriptions disregard medical guidelines for antibiotics. This is ABC News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. That's why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
Try ZipRecruiter now for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com.
Bill Sheehan at North Carolina Tractor Supply wants you to know he is back in business after the fire. New location 299 Railroad Avenue, and with springtime here, it's a great time to get the tractor you've always wanted. Massey Ferguson. Ask about 0% financing with approved credit. Get ready for a busy season with a visit to North Carolina Tractor Supply, now in their new location, 299 Railroad Avenue. Call them up, 288-0395.
And there is Customer Appreciation Day coming up on Saturday, April the 13th, and WCAB, they're broadcasting live. There'll be plenty of food, fun, and special discounts. While you're there, check out the lineup of versatile Massey Ferguson tractors, Arco parts, products, and more. WCAB 100.9 FM will be there broadcasting live from 10 until 1. Gilbert Talks Taxes will be broadcasting his show from 8 until 9 live from NC Tractor. So don't miss a minute of it on Saturday. Customer Appreciation Day, April 13th from 8 until 1 from right here broadcasting live on WCAB. That's 299 Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Afternoon temperatures will climb into the upper 70s. It's going to be a warm one for us, but we are tracking that chance for showers to move in after that 3 o'clock hour. Storms will be possible as we go into the evening and night hours. We are tracking a low of 60 degrees. By Tuesday morning, those showers will continue to diminish out of the area. Highs by the afternoon in the mid-70s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Thanks. It is 61 right now, 60 degrees. We started out at 61, dropped 1 degree, going up today to 74 for a daytime high with some wind developing and a chance of rain about 90% this afternoon. There may be some thunder bumpers in this storm coming our way this afternoon and through tonight. But it looks like we got a clear day on on Wednesday, and it looks like it's clearing off toward the weekend. So let's enjoy the spring-like weather on this April the 8th, Monday morning, 2019. And we welcome you to the morning wake-up call, hour number 2. Now I have these death announcements. Mr. Marvin Curtis Wilson, age 76, of Ballou Mill Road, passed away Saturday, April the 6th at his home. Funeral services will be held 11 a.m. Wednesday at Crow's Funeral Chapel, College Avenue, Rutherfordton, with Reverend Warren Elliott officiating. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to the service. Online condolences may be made at www.crowmortuary.com for Marvin Curtis Wilson. W.G. Jack Silvers, age 89, of Spindale, died Saturday, April 6th at Fairhaven Home. Funeral services will be conducted at 3 o'clock Tuesday, April 9th at Harrelson Funeral Chapel with Reverend Ronnie Robbins officiating. Burial will follow in Avondale Caroline Henrietta Cemetery. Military honors will be provided by the Rutherford County Honor Guard. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with the arrangements and online guest registry available at www.harrelsonfuneralhome.com for W.G. Jack Silvers. Morris Jr. Henson, age 86, of Kelly Cole Road, Rutherfordton, died Friday, April 5th at Holly Springs Senior Citizen Center. Funeral services will be conducted at 5 o'clock today at Holly Springs Baptist Church with Reverend Scott Mooningham and Reverend James Henson officiating. Burial will follow in the church cemetery. Military honors will be provided by the Rutherford County Honor Guard. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the church. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with the arrangements for Morris Jr. Henson of Rutherfordton. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. Complete information on these and others can be available to us this morning, 11:30. And then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon report here on WCAB in Rutherfordton. A lot of sports over the weekend. On Friday, the Braves shut out the Marlins 4-0. Then on Saturday, the Fitzgerald glider killed race 300. Christopher Bell came out winner. The Marlins beat the Braves 4-2. And then on Sunday, Atlanta over Miami 4-3. And then Food City 500, Kyle Busch was victorious. His brother came right behind him in number 2, Kurt Busch.
For years, I have told you that wealthy taxpayers don't just sit there and pay higher taxes. The rich will always escape high tax states and high taxes because they can. Now, Chris Edwards, a Cato Institute tax expert, lays out the evidence to confirm it. The Democrat governor of New Jersey just raised taxes on the top income bracket there. The result, the top income bracket is joining the tax freedom exodus. Wealthy residents are waving goodbye to California and Washington, notorious for high taxes. Connecticut lost multiple multi-billionaires after the Democrat governor raised taxes there. New York's Governor Andrew Cuomo admits that his state is losing high earners to low-tax Florida, but he says it's because of the weather. It's only going to get worse, says Chris Edwards. The 2017 Republican tax plan capped state and local tax deductions, so 25 million high-income families now bear the full tax burden of their high-tax states. They're not going to just sit there and pay it. As more wealthy people leave, what will Democrats do? Well, they'll raise taxes on those who are remaining because they never learn. And then they'll raise taxes on transportation. And they'll raise taxes on your bananas. And they're going to raise taxes on the air that you breathe before it's all said and done. So don't hold your breath. Tax season might be an identity thief's favorite time of year, folks, and that's because there's a chance that your personal information could be exposed with all the tax paperwork going back and forth online. A cyber criminal only needs your name, your date of birth, and your social security number to get a tax refund in your name. They do that by filing before you do. Now, it's a good thing there's LifeLock. LifeLock uses proprietary technology to see threats to your identity that you could miss if you're just looking at your credit score. If there's an identity theft issue, LifeLock's dedicated restoration team members will work to fix it. Now, of course, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions in all businesses, but LifeLock helps protect your identity during tax season and beyond. Sign up right now. Get 10% off your first year. It's lifelock.com, or you can call them 800-440-4833. Make sure you use my name as the promo code when you sign up. You get 10% off.
Nothing goes better with your early cup of coffee than Jim Bishop in the mornings on 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB.
Hey, everyone. Let's all stop what we're doing right now and take a moment. That felt good, huh? Just like that, we had a nice, special sort of moment together. Of course, they don't all need to be quiet moments to be special. They could be loud moments, goofy moments, sporty moments, dorky moments. Moments where we talk or walk or just hang out. It doesn't really matter. They all count. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. Sounds like somebody agrees. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Today, call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush, brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherford-Ton.
If you're looking for new floors, new hardwood or vinyl floors, you really need to check Henson Building Material before you go somewhere else and spend too much for it. They got a great selection and a lot of popular name brands, and they got experts that can help you with that. Henson Building Material is doing so much more than just lumber anymore. And right now, with all the news stories reporting homes being broken into, isn't it time you secured your home with an easy-to-install ring system? They're the April Doorbuster special this month. It's a good time to get one because they're on special right now. The bestseller Ring hardwired video doorbell for only $179.99, or get the Ring wireless floodlight camera, well, it's specially priced, or the wireless spotlight security camera, well, it's specially priced. If you got some staining work to do, check out Henson Building Material price on Ready Seal Stain and Sealer for wood. Special April price of 1 gallon of leak stopper for roof patch. It'll eliminate problem leaks for only $14.99 this month. Stop by. Support Henson Building Material, 177 Duke Street, where they are more than just a lumber yard.
The Lincoln County War was going full tilt. William Brady was the sheriff of Lincoln County. Brady was known to be in the pocket of the Murphy-Dolan faction, the bad guys as far as Billy the Kid was concerned. Billy the Kid had formed his Regulators, a semi-legal group to fight what he considered to be the corruption in the county. And for the most part, the locals looked favorably upon them. On the morning of April Fool's Day, 1878, Sheriff William Brady was walking down Lincoln's Main Street with 4 of his deputies. Then from behind an adobe wall, guns started barking. It's obvious that Sheriff Brady was the main target because in a matter of seconds, he had more than a dozen bullet holes in him. Brady and Billy the Kid had history. Billy blamed Brady for the death of his friend John Tunstall, and earlier that year, Billy had tried to arrest Brady. But Brady was able to turn the tables on the Kid, and the Kid ended up in jail. When the shooting died down, Billy the Kid walked up to the body of Sheriff Brady. Some say he was looking for arrest warrants for Billy and the Regulators. Others say Billy was looking for the Winchester rifle Brady had taken from him back in February. Then a shot rang out from hiding. It nicked Billy's hip. Billy wisely ran for cover and the Regulators left town. Although Billy was able to get his vengeance, the outcome of the event wasn't good for him. Because of the way it happened, Billy started losing the sympathy of the locals, and they began questioning the legality of his Regulators. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Thanks very much, Dakota. 17 minutes now past the hour of 7 on this Monday morning. Let's get started with our news hour, and we call around the county. First of all, we'll stop at the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department, and Officer Suttles is there to give us an update from the weekend. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing well. Hope you are.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Tell us what's been happening in your world past weekend.
In the past 48 hours, we've answered 254 calls for service, had 17 arrests, currently housing 175 in the jail. For incident reports, Misty Cat reported domestic violence protective order violation. Andrew Scruggs reported illegal dumping. Barbara York reported felony larceny. Same was a gold and silver necklace. Cheyenne Henderson reported assault. For arrest, Kevin Willoughby was arrested for assault on female, given a $500 secure bond. Jamie Bradshaw was charged with injury to real property, given a $100 secure bond. Ashley Keeter was charged with possession of controlled substance in jail and/or prison, carrying a concealed gun, possession of methamphetamine. She was given a $77,000 secure bond. Terry Brown was charged with failure to comply. He was given another bond. Samuel Boyce was charged with communicating threats. He was given another bond. Rebecca Green, charged with failure to appear on misdemeanor, $1,000 secure bond. And Carmen Shipman was charged with failure to appear, On misdemeanor, was given a $500 secure bond. And that's all I have for you this morning.
Officer Suttles, thank you very much for that report, and you be safe out there today.
All right, thanks, sir.
Okay. 19 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock, we'll check the 911 Communications Center right after this. So when you're ready to downsize your home and move to a safe, friendly community, let me recommend Eastwood Village. What a beautiful adult community in a private neighborhood designed for active people who desire privacy, security, independence, and maintenance-free living. I like that maintenance-free living part, don't you? Eastwood Village consists of 37 homes located just 2 miles east of Forest City on Highway 74 Business. Eastwood homes are privately owned and self-governed by a board which consists of only homeowners. Eastwood homeowners take pride in a beautiful, spacious clubhouse, outdoor pool, large gazebo, great neighbors. You get health care on site, 24-hour emergency nursing service, meals are available, and so much more. If you like being with active adults who enjoy a private country setting and live in your own home, you should contact Eastwood Village Senior Adult Community right away. Let me arrange a personal tour for you and see for yourself. Call John Salone or Mike McKeithen at 828-245-9095. I know you'll love it. Again, that's 245-9095. Tell them Jim said to show you around. 20 minutes after 7 o'clock, now here's Bill at 911 Communications Center with our report today. Good morning. How you doing?
Just fine, sir, and you?
Yes, sir. Tell us what's been going on.
In the past 48 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 593 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 62 for EMS, 36 for rescue, 254 for the Sheriff's Office, 107 for the town of Forest City, 25 for Lake Lure, 42 for Rutherford, 94 for Spindale. And under fire calls, Cherry Mountain had a motor vehicle accident. Green Hill also had a motor vehicle accident. And SDO had a motor vehicle accident. That's all I've got.
Well, is there something going on in Forest City? Is there a detour going on to something down in town? I've gotten winds of some kind of traffic problem.
I'm not sure on downtown Forest City. Now, earlier we did have a motor vehicle accident on 226 that had the road closed, but it is now open.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. Thanks, Bill. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's check on the SDO Fire District report right after this.
Southern Carpet is the showplace for your floor covering needs. For example, life-proof luxury vinyl plank and tile, waterproof, pet, and kid-friendly. Southern Carpet has all grades of carpet in stock for your home or apartment. Names like Shaw, Dreamweaver, Mohawk, Tarkett, IBC, and so much more. It's a showplace of quality carpet and floor covering. For the best selection in town, depend on Southern Carpet and get great installation prices. Come see Clayton or Jeff for your flooring needs. They'll floor you. 1512 West Main Street in Forest City and on the web at southerncarpet.net.
When the weather cooperates, will you be doing spending some time outside in the garden or in the yard? Well, you need to go by Washburn store and get you one of those straw hats to keep your head protected, your face protected, or maybe one of those Outback rough leather hats. While you're there, look out those wind chimes, beautiful sounding wind chimes for the breezy conditions on your back porch or around the corner. While you're there, be sure to shop for overalls, honey, and maybe check on the tomato plants. All that's available at Washburn Store between Bostic and Sunshine on the Bostic Sunshine Highway. You can't beat the friendly hospitality of the good folks there in Washburn General Store. Here's Ruby Taylor now with the SDO report. Good morning, Ruby.
Good morning.
What's on your report?
Well, the fire department had one call, and that was to a vehicle accident. And on my birthday calendar, I've got Faye Mara, Kendra Walker, having birthdays, and Mr. and Mrs. Robert Bailey, and Mr. and Mrs. Rick Green, and Mr. and Mrs. Jesse James is having an anniversary. And hope all these people have a nice day, and the signs are in the arms today and tomorrow. And, Jim, that's all I got.
I appreciate it, Ruby. Have a good day now.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
I know your vision is important to you. We need our vision. We need to protect it. We need to make sure that it's operating properly. Well, if you're beginning to recognize signs of bad vision, or you need your glasses changed, or you want to change your doctor, how about Tri-City Optometric Eye Care? Dr. Troy Tebbis is the owner and operator of Tri-City Optometric Eye Care in Rutherfordton, and he's been voted the best in Rutherford County for several years. He understands his patient. He takes time to understand them. He takes time to explain to you the concerns that there might be. Tri-City Optometric Eye Care offers full-service exams. The friendly staff will be glad to file your visit with Medicare, Medicaid, all your insurance concerns. Just call 828-288-8662 for an appointment. Tri-City Optometric Eye Care is located at 337 North Main Street in Rutherfordton. And there's also an office in Tryon at 486 South Trade Street. If your vision is important to you, then who you trust your vision care to should be important. Let that be Tri-City Optometric Eye Care. Here's Steve now up in Rumbling Ball with our Monday morning report. Steve, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good there, Jim. How you doing?
Good. You have a good weekend?
Oh yeah, a lot of work done, but getting the yard ready and yeah. That's my fun.
Yeah.
That's my fun spot. So I guess we're squared away pretty good there. So yeah. I'm pretty happy about that.
You sniff a lot of pollen.
I did, and I've tried to adjust to it. But we'll do what we can to combat it.
Sure.
Yeah. So overall, this weekend, I understand it wasn't too bad. We're very busy. I have to say that. We had 2 weddings and 3 large golf groups here. So we're really kicking in the busy season pretty fast here. This morning coming in, it was a little bit foggy for those of you that don't know yet. You might want to go a little bit early to work this morning or whatever, wherever you're going, because in some areas there is some spotty, soupy fog out there. It'll sneak up on you sometimes. I had to stop on Buffalo Creek Road for a deer to cross, and he decided to go back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it must have been a doe, right? No, it was an interesting experience when we get to actually stop because they're going to run into you, and then they keep coming or going. And so I'm just telling folks about my experience this morning, so just a reminder, they're out there crossing the road, so be careful. So we got our Buffalo Creek Road detour still in operation, and we're going to close down our Quail Ridge Boulevard Bridge either today or tomorrow. I'm waiting to hear the word. It's going to be about a 6 to 7 week project, so it's going to we're going to live with that for a while.
Yeah, which one is that, Steve?
The Quail Ridge Boulevard Bridge is one of our busiest roads in here, actually. It goes to the Wellness Center inside the resort here, the first left that goes to the Wellness Center. So it's going to be a lot of detouring going on.
Right.
So, but it's just small detours so we can get around it.
People just have to be patient.
Yeah, and usually, just have good signage is the key. So. Other than that, it's been fairly quiet on the activity front. Okay. So we'll stay with that, we hope.
Good, Steve. Keep up the good work, and we'll see you next time.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
It's fertilizer time, and Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply has what you need. 17, only $13.45 for the 50-pound bag. They have in stock Red Pontiac seed potatoes, Kennebec seed potatoes, and Yukon Gold potatoes. Cowlick tubs only $49.99 for a 200-pound tub. Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply now has new 100-pound propane tanks for only $124.99. Choose from a wide selection of body plants. And remember, Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply has the best deals on Diamond Dog Food. Check them out soon at 188 Whiteside Road, Rutherford. Phone them at 287-3272.
WCAB is busting into springtime full speed this weekend. On Friday, we have a remote from Jay's Discount Grocery from 10 until 12. And we'll take a break and then come back at 3 and finish up at 5. On Friday, it'll be free hot dogs, a lot of buy one, get one free items, a lot of things to register for this Customer Appreciation Day at Jay's Discount Grocery. Then on Saturday, we'll go over to NC Tractor for their Customer Appreciation and grand opening of their facility there on Railroad Avenue. And that'll be from 10 until 1 o'clock on Saturday. Now, I understand Gilbert Carmona is going to do his tax show from there about 8 o'clock until 9. And they will pick up at 10 o'clock and broadcast. There'll be free food over there as well, and a lot of things to win, a lot of prizes. So come on out and let Phil Sheehan know that you're glad he's back in business after the fire. He's moved his location, got a bigger space, a lot more room, and we're over there celebrating on Saturday with Phil Sheehan and his team at NC Tractor. Right now we're going over to Hudlow and with Bob Hodge. He's there to give us a report and the news. Good morning, Bob.
Well, good Monday morning.
How you doing?
Well, doing fairly well this morning there.
You had a good
week here.
Yeah, you had a good weekend, I hope.
Well, we had a good weekend. It was a nice weekend there.
It was, indeed.
But looked like we might get a little thunder shower or two later on this season, but maybe won't have anything too bad there. But look like all week's going to be warm and not too bad, except some thunder showers scattered around.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just typical spring weather over here.
It is indeed, yes.
It makes that grass grow and weeds and everything else with it there.
Yes.
But we need a little of that rain there to wash this pollen off. It's been bad all week there, so bad on people that has allergies there, so.
It sure is.
But Jim, up here with the fire department over the weekend, we thanks to several medical calls. It's been quiet during the night. Hadn't had any fire calls during the night, so that's good. And hope everything runs along good and quiet up here today. And I hope you have a good day. And I'll be talking to you in the morning.
Bob, I appreciate it. I look forward to that. And you have a wonderful Monday, and I'll see you next time.
All right.
Thanks, Bob.
Bye-bye.
Bye. 7:31, and our temperature right now outside is 60 degrees here at WCAB in Rutherford.
Gregory's Original Restaurant in the Park Lane Plaza is the perfect dining choice of Rutherford County. Greg offers all your favorite dishes. Try their delicious subs, grinders, pasta, chicken, burgers, fresh garden salads, and the most delicious steaks served with mushroom gravy or peppers and onions. Be sure to call on Gregory's for all your catering needs at 287-2171. Check out the website for menus and event information, www.gregorysoriginal.com. Gregory's in the Park Lane Plaza in Rutherford. Take a look around your living room. Wouldn't a brand new recliner look beautiful sitting in that corner or next to the fireplace? How would you like to win a brand new recliner? It's simple. JD and Marie Shook are showing their appreciation to their customers by giving away a brand new recliner every month. All you have to do is go by the Recliner Center and register. No purchase necessary. After the drawing at the end of each month, the box will be emptied and started again. You can register every time you visit the Recliner Center. And we want to remind you that the hours at the Recliner Center are changing. The new hours beginning April the 22nd will be Wednesday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturdays, 9 to 2. And while you're browsing around looking at the great recliners, the lift chairs, the couches, don't forget about the comfortable spring air mattresses. Doctors tell us a good night's sleep is very important for more energy and stamina, and the Recliner Center is the home of the comfortable spring air bedding. New hours, spring air bedding, and a chance to win a new recliner every month at the Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherford.
Well, the Braves had a pretty good weekend this past weekend. On Friday, they beat the Marlins 4-0. They came back and lost to the Marlins 4-2 on Saturday. Then on Sunday, they beat Miami 4-3. Now they're out in Colorado playing tonight. They'll be airtime 7:25 with the Braves at the Colorado Rockies tonight here on the radio. And by the way, if you have not gotten word, our schedules are in. They came in last week. So if you'd like one of those handy pocket schedules for the Atlanta Braves season, just come by. We'll have plenty of those to share with you. So let us know. We'll be glad to give you as many as you want. Now here is Sue Price reporting from the Cherry Mountain Fire District on this Monday. Sue, good morning.
Good morning, Jim.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Hope you are.
I am indeed.
It's a nice morning over here. I'm starting out at 61 degrees. So it's warm out there. And we see, the fire department had one motor vehicle accident. I don't have any birthdays on my church calendar. On my personal calendar, I got a birthday for Chad McFarland and anniversary for Butch and Catherine Cook. So I hope those folks will have a good day. And Fairview didn't have anything today. No birthdays or anniversaries. First Broad's got, of course, they got Butch and Catherine Cook on their calendar. And in my announcements, the Golden Valley Missionary Methodist Church is going to be having a yard and bake sale. That'll be April 13th, starting at 7 a.m. They'll also have breakfast biscuits with country ham and sausage. And First Broad will be having a children's Easter party on the 13th, and that's from 11 to 1 in the fellowship hall. So come on out, children, and enjoy this Easter party. And so far, that's the only announcements I have. It's just a quiet, calm day over here and looking for one, and I hope you'll have a good day too, Jim.
Thanks very much, Sue. You enjoy yours as well, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. 7:35. More than 1 million Americans have heart attacks each year, and if you or a loved one experiences symptoms of a heart attack, every second matters. That's why the emergency department at Rutherford Regional Health System is a chest pain accredited facility. What does that mean to you? It means quality care here at home that could save precious seconds when treating the symptoms of heart attacks. To learn more about Rutherford Regional and its commitment to safe quality care, visit myrutherfordregional.com.
When you need daycare services for your adult loved one, Rutherford Life Services is always there for a dependable and loving environment. Rutherford Life offers a place to go during the daytime for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and creative activities. Caregivers can go to work knowing that their loved one is in a safe and reliable place. Rutherford Life is licensed by the North Carolina Division of Aging. Rutherford Life has a full staff of trained professionals who show love and support. Call them today and let them answer any questions you may have concerning adult daycare services. 828-288-1697 or visit the facility at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
Nobody gets a better deal than the customers of Sisk Family Ford. They have the proven record of the best deals right now with the springtime inventory and deals. It's your place to shop for your truck. Get a good look at the selection of SUVs, Escapes, Edge, and Explorers. Sisk Family Ford can put you in the family car or truck of your choice any day you want to make a change. Try one on for a ride. Make your next deal a Sisk Family Ford deal. Shop local and get your best agreement for the next automobile. Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
Now it's 7:37 here at WCAB 100.9 FM, 590 AM. Let's head toward Union Mills to get the Kelly report from Miss Brenda. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you on this magnificent Monday morning?
Well, I'm just happy as a lark. How about you?
I'm doing just fine. Little larks are singing. I've been hearing them out here in the bushes. They're just a-singing.
Well, they're happy, aren't they?
Yeah, and we should be too, shouldn't we?
All they got to do is go find worms and food, and they're happy as a lark.
And the seeds we put out there for them.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
I
got it made.
I like to watch my birds.
Oh, yeah, they're pretty. They're just so pretty.
Have you had any of those turkey buzzards flying around your house?
Not that I know of. Why?
We've had a bunch of those flying around over our fly-by, and they'll fly by, and I don't know where they're going or where they're coming from, but that's what I've been told they are, turkey buzzards.
Yeah, they eat on dead stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I see them down on the road where, stuffed squirrels and rabbits and things like that, or possum or something been run over, but I've not seen them up here. So.
I've seen some pretty big ones.
Yeah, they're big. They are, yeah. And from a distance, they look like a turkey.
Look like airplanes, almost.
Or maybe you should just hop aboard one and go wherever you want to.
747 bird.
There you go. Well, let's see. I've got 56 degrees on the front porch. Birthdays today, I've got Gerald Lane, Ty Hutchins, Rachel Buckley Pritchard, and April Hill. I don't have any on around here, but we do have the community club meeting tonight at 6 o'clock. Then we got Revival at Victory Baptist Church, and this is at 439 Spindale Street, Spindale, April the 8th through the 10th, 7 p.m. Bill Joyce from Missouri will be preaching Jesus Christ. Pastor John Green and the congregation invites you to join. Then we got a buffet breakfast at Gilkey School Community Center. Starts at 7 a.m., goes to 10 a.m. This will be Saturday the 13th. Adults, $6. Kids, 6 to 12, $3. 6 and under free. All you can eat, sausage, bacon, liver mush, gravy, and biscuits, and all the trimmings. And proceeds go to help rebuild the old Gilkey School. And other than that, I don't know of anything else going on.
All right, Brenda, thank you so very much for being available for us, and we will talk to you again tomorrow.
Have a good one. Catch you later.
Thanks, Brenda. Bye-bye. This morning at a little after 8 o'clock, we'll find out what jobs are available. We'll talk with Terry Thomas and find out where some jobs are and some you might be interested in obtaining. Listen up this morning, a little after 8 o'clock for that job market report.
Health insurance is complicated, and with healthcare reform on the way, it's not getting any simpler. If you've got questions, we've got agents. Your local Farm Bureau insurance agent can walk you through the changes and offer you the right healthcare plan with the right benefits for you. Healthcare may be changing, but our superior service isn't. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
When you call a pest control company, you want to make sure they have honest and dependable experience. Hutchins Pest Control has all those qualities and more. 45 years experience in pest control service, now including moisture control, waterproofing, mold remediation, dehumidification, and more. Get rid of mice, rats, wildlife, fire ants, bed bugs, and termites. Call today for residential and commercial service. 287-5171. Voted best of best for 9 years. That's Hutchins Pest Control.
Now at 7:41, let's check to see if Luther Gilligan is up and at 'em this morning. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed over in Ellenboro. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yep, right and good. Looking for the sunshine.
I hope it comes out today.
I would say too, but doesn't look like it's coming up right now.
Yeah.
Well, a little foggy out there, a little dreary, but hey, it's gonna be a nice day. We're gonna have a good time today.
Be a good day in spite of it.
So I ain't good to work anyway. But it's quiet. We had a quiet weekend. It was a nice weekend. And right nice Saturday and Sunday. Enjoyed it. We got up yesterday. Well, I come out of church yesterday morning. All the birds were singing and carrying on. So it just warmed up. Just felt good out there. They didn't go on and see part of them. Quite a weekend. I think they had 2 medical calls over the weekend. All they had, everything's quiet there. Don't have any birthdays going, but I want to remind everybody, big time watch yard sale coming up May the 4th. Be the first Saturday in May. So you set up your own yard. If you don't want to set up your yard, come on out there on Depot Street. Set up out under the pear trees. And the club will be having their breakfast biscuits and all that stuff out there. So everyone just come on out and have a good time out there. And Jim, there's nothing else going on down here. You have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Luther. Have a good day.
Take care.
It's time for birthdays and anniversaries now on the program for this Monday, which is the 8th day of April, April the 8th. If you're celebrating a birthday or know someone that is, want to call it in for them, That's 287-3356. Todd's standing by there to take your call. We put all those that are called in together, have a drawing, and give away some delicious Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. Oh, that's a ritual right here on the morning show every day, and Granny B's been doing cakes and donuts for a long, long time. We appreciate that. And she's getting ready to pull out a big tray of those donuts here in just a few moments over at Granny B's. So we'll find out who's going to win them in just a moment. At McCurry Deck Motors, you can browse a selection of vehicles that includes all of the top models in Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC lineups. The McCurry Deck Motors lineup of vehicles checks all the boxes, ensuring that they will have the perfect vehicle for any car shopper that visits their lot. Come visit and see what's in store for you and your family with the McCurry Deck quality reputation of fair deals and customer service. Try the Chevy. Find new roads with Chevy. At McCurry Deck Motors, we're the home of Chevy, Buick, and GMC. 1740 U.S. Highway 74A, Forest City. There's so many features you'll appreciate about the Miracle Ear Genius 2.0 that we've been talking about. If you'll talk with Lisa Terry about that when you go for your free hearing test over at Miracle Ear. In Forest City, at office is 1512 West Main Street, Suite 102. And the phone number, if you would like to call and set up a time, is 828-368-4126. 368-4126. And you can go have that free hearing test, no obligation, no pressure. You can walk out after having seen your results of your hearing test and do what you like. There's no pressure on you whatsoever. But if you'd like to follow up, if you need a hearing instrument, they certainly would, are the experts to talk with you about that and let you see the benefits of maybe this Miracle Ear Genius 2.0. Talk with Lisa Terry today about Miracle Ear's possibilities. In Shelby, if you're close to Shelby, it's 1506 East Dixon Boulevard. A-plus rating with a Better Business Bureau. Can't beat that. Miracle Ear. You know, when you need a plumber, you want someone with a reputation of getting right out to you and getting the job done for you the right way. That'll be Olmsted Plumbing. Since 1973, the Olmsted family has been serving homeowners and builders with the best of service. From unclogging a drain to replacing fixtures and appliances to remodeling jobs, their top quality work, fair prices, and punctual service has made them the area's leading plumbing firm. Eric and Chad are continuing that family tradition, and they'd like to serve you. Call 245-7302. Experience plus equipment equals excellence. Olmsted Plumbing at 245-7302. That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today. While they're fresh, they're good, they're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about. Happy birthday. I want to wish happy birthday greetings and anniversary greetings to Bob and Beth Ogden, 24, down in Cliffside, 24 years, I guess. And Jimmy and Donna Pruitt. It's their 41st wedding anniversary over in Dobbinsville. Roger Faye Morrow is 70 over in Danieltown. And Kristen and Jake Vaughn, it's their first anniversary. They live in Forest City. A lot of folks married in the state. I want to wish Mr. Thomas Carswell over in Boston would be a happy birthday as well. Mr. Tom celebrating today. We want to wish him a happy birthday. Also celebrating is Gerald Lane, Ty Hutchins, and Rachel Buckley Pritchard, and April Hill. So there you go. That's the ones that we've had called in, and those on the calendar this morning, and we'll have a drawing in just a minute.
Sometimes it is not too difficult to be honest, while at other times there are incredible consequences. For example, it is not too consequential to inform the clerk about a $3 overpayment to you. On the other hand, consider the temptation to fudge it when the stakes get really high, when it will cost us our job or a lot of money. Professional golfer Ray Floyd was one of the top contenders for a $108,000 first-place tournament finish. He was preparing to tap in a rather routine 9-inch putt when he prematurely moved the ball just slightly. According to the rulebook, if the ball moves in this way, the golfer must take a penalty stroke. Floyd needed every stroke he could get. What would he do? Floyd assessed himself a penalty and took a bogey. Writer David Holohan describes his foul as what others might have done. He writes, "The athlete ducks his head and flails wildly with his hands as if being attacked by a killer bee. Next, he steps back from the ball, rubbing his eye for a phantom speck of dust, all the while scanning his playing partners in the gallery for any sign that the ball's movement had been detected by others. If the coast is clear, he taps the ball in for his par." Floyd, however, did not choose that route. He chose honesty under pressure. For him, truthfulness was the only policy, regardless of the cost. This is Bill Hostler with today's key to confident living. Scripts for these programs are sold in book form by calling toll-free 1-888-333-KEYS.
And a big congratulations going out to Thomas Carswell of Bostic, who just won some donuts from Granny B's. Congratulations, Mr. Tom over in Bostic. We have a certificate over here for you. Stop by our studios on Whiteside Road, pick that up, and take them over to Granny B's. And I know you'll enjoy those delicious donuts. Now, coming up next hour, we'll have the job market report right at the top of the hour. And we'll find out where the jobs are. And then 8:30 this morning, Word of Faith continues to give their side of the story. We'll have all of that exclusively here on WCAB in Rutherford. Let me remind you again, we're going to be broadcasting live a couple of different places this week, and one on Friday at Jay's Discount Grocery from 10 until 12, and then again from 3 until 5. And there'll be a lot of things to win over there, plus free food. A lot of buy one, get one free items in the grocery store. It's a great place to shop, and we'll be there with Customer Appreciation Day celebrations, along with Rick Hauser and his other team members over there. Hope you'll join us sometime through the day. Then on Saturday, we'll be out again over at NC Tractor for their Customer Appreciation Day as well. We'll be there from 10 until 1 broadcasting. A lot of free food there as well with things to win, and a great opportunity for you to welcome Phil back in business after he's fired his other place. He moved up the road a little ways, got a bigger location, and he's back open again. And he's having appreciation, showing his appreciation for all those who stood by him. And he's going to have some great deals out there on Saturday as well. Your chance to see what's available for you with his line of tractors. So come see us and make your plans to bring the family out and enjoy some great hospitality both days, if you can, and enjoy yourself. Meanwhile, we'll be playing both days, as we do here, between 9 and 11:30 and 3 until 5 each day. Some music from the Golden Oldies.
There's a moon out tonight. Let's go strolling. There's a girl in my heart whose heart I've stolen. There's a moon out tonight. Let's go strolling through the park. There's a glow in my heart I never felt before. There's a girl at my side that I adore. There's a glow in my heart I never felt before.
You can dance every dance with the guy that gives you the eye, let him hold you tight. You can smile every smile for the man who held your hand beneath the pale moonlight. But don't forget who's taking you home and in whose arms you're gonna be. So darling, say the last dance for me. Ooh, oh I know that the music's fine like sparkling wine. Go and have your fun. Oh I know. Laugh and sing, but while we're apart, don't give your heart to anyone. Cause don't forget who's taking you home and in whose arms you're gonna be. So darling, say the last dance for me. Ooh, baby, don't you know I love you so? Can't you feel it when we touch? I would never, never let you go. I love you oh so much. You can dance, go carry on till the night is gone and it's time to go. If he asks, if you're all alone, can he take you home? You must tell him no. Cause don't forget who's taking you home and in whose arms you're gonna be. So darling, save the last dance for me. Cause don't forget who's taking you home and in whose arms you're gonna be. So darling, say the last dance for me. Say the last dance for me. Say the last dance for me. Say.
Someone new.
24/7 WCAB is serving the foothills of the Carolinas. Learn more about us at www.wcab59.com.
I'm Sherry Preston. Her resignation is in, and Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen is out. ABC's Karen Travers is at the White House.
Kirstjen Nielsen will stay on as Homeland Security Secretary until Wednesday in order to facilitate the transition to the new acting secretary. President Trump and Nielsen were together at the California southern border with Mexico on Friday. A source close to Nielsen says that when she was on her way back to Washington that day, she requested a meeting with the president over the weekend to talk border security. The president for some time has blamed her for the recent spike in migrant crossings.
Customs and Border Protection head Kevin McAleenan is being promoted, stepping in as acting Secretary of Homeland Security. Security at the President's Club. Mar-a-Lago at the center of a court hearing today. The Chinese woman who talked her way past several layers of security in Florida while carrying a thumb drive full of malware faces a judge. More questions about the death of a South Carolina 10-year-old who died after getting into a fight at her school. Her family, speaking exclusively to ABC News, says they're not getting any answers. Ernie Wright is Raina Wright's grandfather.
The school failed. They don't want to admit that they failed. They don't want to own up to what's going on right now. But you just can't take everything and sweep it underneath the rug. We talk about a 10-year-old girl.
The American woman kidnapped while on a safari at a park in Uganda has been freed. ABC's Ian Pannell is there.
A spokesman for the tour company telling ABC News a ransom was paid. The U.S. government insisting it doesn't pay kidnappers, fearing it encourages more hostage-taking. But if money did change hands, that's going to be a huge concern to the people who live here and rely on the tourists who come and visit.
Investigators in Louisiana are now taking a close look at fires in several historically black churches over the last couple of weeks. They're trying to figure out if they're connected. The White House is reportedly ready to redesign Iran's Revolutionary Guard and name it as a terrorist organization. You're listening to ABC News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/search. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/search. That's ZipRecruiter.com/search. ZipRecruiter.com/search.
A day before Election Day in Israel, and things are getting tight. ABC's Jordana Miller is in Jerusalem.
The race is so close between Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his challenger, former Army Chief General Benny Gantz. And there are so many factors that could swing this election either way. Nearly 10% of Israelis say they still haven't decided who to vote for. In this parliamentary system, if some small parties on the left or right don't make it past the electoral threshold, that could also change the picture. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
One basketball championship is done, one to go. The women's title going to Baylor after the Lady Bears beat Notre Dame 82-81. Tonight in Minneapolis, Texas Tech faces Virginia for the men's title. ABC's Ryan Burrows there.
Much has been said about Texas Tech's physical defense, but head coach Chris Beard says he's got a lot of confidence in his team's offense, too.
It goes hand in hand. The best offensive teams in college basketball have defenses that contribute to that, and the best defenses in college basketball have offenses.
Beard says he's never seen a more mentally tough team than Virginia, but they're going to try to match it. Ryan Burrow, ABC News, Minneapolis.
2 college students from Oregon are now accused of running a $1 million scam on Apple. Investigators say the students, both from China, would return fake iPhones, and Apple would send real phones back as a replacement. They would then be sold back in China and take a profit. This is ABC News.
If you own a pair of Skechers, this ad is not for you, because you already know they're the most comfortable shoes on the planet. This ad is for those who've never tried Skechers, for the few who have never experienced the otherworldly comfort of Skechers air-cooled memory foam, never floated across the ground on comfort pods, or experienced Skechers seamless knits. You're missing out. That's like never petting a puppy. So we've made this ad for you, in hopes of showing you the light. Skechers. Live comfortably. Available at a Skechers store near you, or wherever stylish shoes are sold.
Sherry Preston, ABC News.
If you haven't tried Jesse James Railroad Express, Railroad Avenue, Rutherford, you've been missing out. Jesse has some of the most delicious burgers, clubs, hot dogs, chef salads, taco salads, and much more. Everything is made to order, fresh daily, open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 4. Mention this ad and get a hot dog with mustard, chili, and onions, only 99 cents. That's Mondays only.
Afternoon temperatures will top in the upper 70s, and a few scattered showers will begin to move into the area after the 3 o'clock hour. Evening showers and storms will be possible. Some of those storms could be strong to severe and pack punch. Temperatures will cool into the lower 60s, and we'll eventually see clearing take shape once we get into Tuesday. Tuesday afternoon, expect highs in the mid-70s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Well, the fog has rolled in pretty thick out here this morning, so it may be not where you are, but you may run into it, so please be careful. Pretty thick fog for a while this morning, and we are 62 degrees. Congratulations to Thomas Carswell of Bostic. He won the De La Donuts this morning. Congratulations to him. Now, Monday morning is our time to talk with Terry Thomas, find out where some jobs are in our area. Maybe you've been looking for a job. Well, they're there, folks. Let's find out from Terry Thomas. Terry, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. Hope you had a good weekend.
Yes, sir.
Good, good. Tell us where some jobs are, Terry.
Okay, first we will start in the Spindale area. We have a social worker 3 position. This job requires a bachelor's degree and at least 3 years of social work, and this job pays $43,442 a year. In the Rutherfordton area, we have a general laborer position working in a sawmill. This job does not require any experience, and the pay is from $9 to $10 an hour, depending upon experience. Over in the Far City area, we have a uniform security specialist position. This job requires a high school diploma and at least 2 years of security work, and this job pays $15 an hour. We also have a human resources and quality assurance coordinator position in the Far City area. This job requires a high school diploma and at least 1 year experience, and the pay depends upon experience. We also have a part-time sales associate position. This job requires a high school diploma, and it pays $10 to $15 an hour, depending upon experience. Over in the Columbus area, we have a part-time teller position. We'll also be selling bank services. This job requires a high school diploma and at least 6 months of teller or customer service experience, and the pay depends upon experience. Also in the Columbus area, we will be having a job fair and hiring event over at the Bulldog Factory Service Company. This will be Saturday, April the 13th, from 9 to 1 p.m. They are hiring for general laborers and saw operators that pay from $12 to $16 an hour. They're hiring manual and CNC machinist positions. This job ranges from anywhere from $14 to $28 an hour, depending upon experience. They're hiring for mechanical designers. This job ranges from $14 to $28 an hour. Welder and fitter positions. This job ranges from $14 to $25 an hour, depending upon experience. Robot programmers, that varies. The pay ranges from $17 up to $30 an hour, depending upon experience. And this, there again, will be over at the Bulldog Factory Service this Saturday from 9 to 1 p.m., and they're located at 135 Ada Moore Street in Columbus. And so these are just a few of the jobs that we have available at the Rutherford County NC Works Career Center. We are located at 223 Charlotte Road, Rutherfordton. For more information or these or other positions, you can call us at 286-3042, or you can go on our website at www.ncworks.gov.
Terry, thank you so very much for this report each Monday morning. I appreciate you doing that, and you have a great week.
Thank you, and it's my pleasure.
Thank you. And there are other jobs available. A lot of the employment opportunity job people, they have jobs listed too. Just about every plant, every factory around the area is needing help. And a lot of individual, privately owned companies and small business owners need help as well. So this is a time to find a job and get them and go to work. Time to go to work. Get her done.
Nothing goes better with your early cup of coffee than Jim Bishop in the mornings on 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB.
When you're living the supreme life, there's nothing more supreme than enjoying ice cream on a lazy afternoon. Except maybe from your own personal ice cream truck with over 1,000 flavors and waffle cones with your tiny initials monogrammed on the side.
What's this all about?
This is what happens when you play the $300 million Supreme Riches scratch-off. Life is just full of splendor and bliss.
Clearly.
Or floating in your pool on a swan-shaped raft next to your black-necked swan from the wetlands of Brazil.
Sounds fancy.
Oh, he's not done.
Or relaxing with your gigantic 370-inch outdoor flat-screen TV framed in gold.
Wow, that's some glitz.
And a robot dog delivering you furry slippers.
$300 million Supreme Riches from the North Carolina Education Lottery with 100,000 prizes from $400 to $4,000 and $10 million top prizes. Welcome to the Supreme Life. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 2.9. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
It's the tax refund extravaganza at Bark Mobile, with deals on phones and plans that'll make your refund seem huge. Like free Moto G6 Play smartphones for you and the kids when you switch. Unlimited data is just $50 a month for the first line. Half price for lines 2 through 4, and the 5th line's free. I know, right? The tax refund extravaganza at Bark Mobile. Mobile made easy. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
North Carolina Tractor wants to thank you for being a valued customer and stop by the Customer Appreciation Day on Saturday, April the 13th, and enjoy plenty of food, plenty of fun, and special discounts. And while you're there, check out the lineup of versatile Massey Ferguson tractors, ASCO parts, products, and more. Don't miss NC Tractor's Customer Appreciation Day, April the 13th from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. Find us at 299 Railroad Avenue, Rutherford, for details. You can call Phil at 828-429-5008, and we'll be there broadcasting on Saturday as well. And we hope you'll make your plans to come by and at least congratulate Phil on staying the course. Bouncing back up after the fire he had at his other location. He's now bigger and better, stronger, and greater opportunities for you to find out about the Massey Ferguson. Other stories around the area this morning. A man is dead after shooting Thursday, and the State Bureau of Investigation is working that case over in Forest City. Forest City police are still looking for the person responsible. Forest City police are investigating the death of a man shot Thursday morning. Autopsy results show Blanton died from a single gunshot wound. The shooting happened only a little more than a mile from the city's police station. Police say they received a call for a welfare check at Big Springs Apartments early Thursday morning. Once they got to 59-year-old Robert Martin Blanton's apartment, they began knocking, but no one answered, and they had to force their way inside. Once they got in, they found Blanton's body. Neighbors tell us he had lived there for a while, and a lot of them know who he was. But the SBI is now involved in the investigation of that case. More on that as it becomes available to us here at WCAB. On Thursday, April the 4th at approximately 1 o'clock, the State Highway Patrol stopped a Nissan passenger vehicle for traveling 96 miles per hour in a 55-mile zone on US 70 near Edwards Road in Johnston County. During the course of the traffic stop, an altercation ensued with the driver of the Nissan, who was armed with a handgun. As a result, the driver was shot by the trooper. Authorities on scene immediately began life-saving procedure until emergency medical staff arrived. The driver was transported to a local hospital with serious injuries. The trooper was not injured during the altercation. The driver was the only occupant with the Nissan, and no other suspects are being sought. The State Highway Patrol has requested the State Bureau of Investigation to investigate along with their own separate internal investigation, which is protocol in all trooper-involved shootings. You have to wonder why folks think they can outrun somebody like that. Why do they think they can get away with it? Sometimes it ends up bad. Sometimes it ends up really bad. Well, Mill Springs, the volunteer fire department, is in trouble after the Polk County Emergency Management Director Bobby Arledge said it's a serious concern for the entire county. Arledge said he received a letter from the North Carolina Fire Marshal Office on Monday explaining why the volunteer department is no longer in compliance. The letter stated the chief hasn't completed Chief 101. The department is low on personnel and there's a lack of equipment inventory and maintenance records. There's been rumors they're going to shut their doors. That's not true. Just want to let everyone understand they're still there. They're still running calls. A few issues just need to be corrected, Arledge said. He explained the biggest problem will be the low personnel. Arledge said Mill Spring has 12 volunteers, but it needs 15 to be in compliance. It's very concerning. Volunteers are dwindling away, so a volunteer department like this gets in any trouble and is very concerning. And at the county level, concerning for us as well, Arledge said. In fact, 2016, North Carolina has lost a lot of volunteer firemen. Arledge said he's working on a plan and hopes to help Mill Spring get back in compliance. He said the department basically has a year to get the problem resolved. If the department does not, Arledge said Mill Spring could lose its rating, which means residents could lose their home insurance coverage. It's alarming to Damian Jackson, who owns the property where his grandmother lives in Mill Spring. That's terrible news if it's going to bring up insurance. My grandma lives here. Terrible news for my family. I hate that, Jackson said. He said he wasn't even aware the department needed more volunteers and hopes it gets the issues figured out. News 13 reached out to Mill Spring for a comment several times, but we're told no one was available. They'll get it worked out. Just need more people to step up to the plate and volunteer. Get the training volunteer to be a volunteer firefighter over in Mill Spring. 18 minutes after 8 o'clock here on WCAB. Let's check on this, and we'll have the Sheriff's Report with Officer Suttles coming up here in just a moment.
Do you need some extra money in your pocket? Try Insurance Service Associates, your local independent agent. We can shop your auto and home insurance with several companies to get you better coverage and the best rate. Insurance Service Associates at 127 East Trade Street in Forest City for auto, home, or commercial insurance. More choices, better coverage, best rate. That's Insurance Service Associates, 245-5301.
Saturday evening, April 13th, the Foundation presents Rumors. Rumors is the country's premier Fleetwood Mac tribute band. Enjoy an evening of classic Fleetwood Mac hits live on stage at the Foundation Performing Arts Center at Isothermal Community College in Spindale. Tickets start at just $20 for adults, $5 for youth 18 and under. It's an evening of Fleetwood Mac hits with Rumors. For tickets, go online to foundationshows.org or call 286-9990. That's 286-9990. Experience the best of Fleetwood Mac with Rumors, a Fleetwood Mac tribute, Saturday, April 13th. For tickets and information, visit foundationshows.org. That's foundationshows.org.
Did you know that Rutherford County's largest pediatrics practice has 5 providers to serve the children and youth of this area? And even better, Rutherford Children's Care is welcoming new patients. With 3 physicians and 2 mid-level providers, the group is available to examine, diagnose, and treat patients from birth to age 18. Rutherford Children's Care is conveniently located at 162 Commercial Drive in Forest City, just behind Big Dave's Restaurant. To schedule an appointment, call Rutherford Children's Care at 828-287-9325.
Hello from all of us at Smith's Drugs in downtown Forest City. Check out our newly remade website at smithsdrugsfc.com and see how you can download our mobile app to make refilling your prescription so easy. You can create multiple profiles for everyone in your family and send refill notices anytime, saving you from calling in or leaving messages. Check out our Facebook page and see new items from the gift shop and on-sale items that can include t-shirts, leggings, shoes, toys, and other seasonal gifts. Our home medical equipment department at Smith's Drugs has all of your CPAP therapy needs for supplies that include filters, tubings, and masks, as well as our 2 respiratory therapists to help you get the full benefits of your CPAP and answer any questions or concerns that you are having. We also have lift chairs, diabetic shoes, and offer mastectomy services here at Smith's Drugs. Also, we have daily specials in our old-fashioned soda fountain at just $3.99 for breakfast and $5.99 for lunch. And we can help you with some fried pound cake and ice cream or milkshakes for dessert. We also want to thank all of Rutherford County for your loyal support and trust that has allowed us to serve you since 1939. Thank you to Rutherford County and Forest City from all of us at Smith's Drugs at 139 East Main Street.
Thank you, Pam. 20 minutes now past 8 o'clock on this Monday morning. Cloudy out there. Some fog came in earlier. Maybe pretty thick, so watch out where you're traveling today. Officer Suttles gave us a report from the Sheriff's Department earlier this morning. We recorded it for broadcast at this time. Officer Suttles.
In the past 48 hours, we've answered 254 calls for service, had 17 arrests, currently housing 175 in the jail. For incident reports, Misty Cat reported domestic violence protective order violation. Andrew Scruggs reported illegal dumping. Barbara York reported felony larceny. Same was a gold and silver necklace. Cheyenne Henderson reported assault. For arrest, Kevin Willoughby was arrested for assault on female, given a $500 secure bond. Jamie Bradshaw was charged with injury to real property, given a $100 secure bond. Ashley Keeter was charged with possession of controlled substance in jail and/or prison, carrying a concealed gun, possession of methamphetamine. She was given a $77,000 secure bond. Terry Brown was charged with failure to comply. He was given an other bond. Samuel Boyce was charged with communicating threats. He was given another bond. Rebecca Green, charged with failure to appear on misdemeanor, $1,000 secure bond. And Carmen Shipman was charged with failure to appear on misdemeanor, was given a $500 secure bond. And that's all I have for you this morning.
That's Officer Suttles reporting this morning. What has absolutely gone wrong with the left up in Washington? All this Democratic Representative Gerald Nadler from New York, District 10. I think he's the chairman of the Judiciary. He championed the so-called Equality Act in the House Judiciary Committee hearing Tuesday, and he stressed that the bill would make sure religious beliefs cannot be used to discriminate against the LGBT community. In other words, he's saying religious rights must bow to the LGBT. Why is that more important than the majority of people who are Judeo-Christian value dependent? As the House Judiciary Committee Chairman, Nadler impressed that under the Equality Act, everyone must fall subject to the LGBT agenda, with churches and religious employers, organizations, and colleges being afforded no exemptions whatsoever. Religion is no excuse for discrimination when it comes to sexual orientation or gender identity, he said. Giving testimony against the pro-LGBT bill, also known as H.R. 5, was Julian Beck, who is a self-described radical lesbian feminist and the former law and policy co-chair for Baltimore's LGBTQ Commission. She alerted the Christian community and other faith-based groups about what to expect when or if the proposed legislation passes and become enforced. She says if it passes, this would eliminate women and girls as a coherent legal category worthy of civil rights protection. There is no way to tell if someone is lying about being transgender. She said that if gender identity becomes recognized under federal law, Americans can expect to see the following scenario regularly played out. Male rapists will go to female prisons and will likely assault female inmates, as has already happened in the UK. Female survivors of rape will be unable to contest male presence in women's shelters. Men will dominate women's sports, and girls who would have taken first place will be denied scholastic opportunity. Women who use male pronouns to talk about men may be arrested, fined, and banned from social media platforms. Girls will stay home from schools when they have their periods to avoid harassment by boys in mixed-sex toilets. Girls and women would no longer have a right to ask for female medical staff or intimate care providers, including elderly or disabled women who are at serious risk of sexual abuse. Female security officers will no longer have the right to refuse to perform pat-down or intimate searches of males who say they're female. All these shocking instances are by no means far-fetched. It's already happening, and is only going to get worse should this bill pass. So let's nip it in the bud, you guys up there and gals. Use some common sense for a change. How about it?
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. The Brothers Busch claimed yet another win at Bristol Motor Speedway. Kyle and Kurt coming in first and second. Kyle passing his older brother on the final restart to win Sunday's race, his 8th checkered flag at Bristol. He said he thought the best way to win was to stay on the track late while others went to pit road.
I've seen it work more times than not. When the guys stay out, you have a better opportunity to be able to go for the win. So it kind of fell into our hands there, being able to lead the restart, being able to get Kurt. It was a good run for us Busch brothers that won't come 1-1-2.
A first-time college basketball national champion will be crowned tonight when Texas Tech and Virginia square off in the NCAA Tournament National Championship Finals in Minneapolis. Virginia's path to the finals controversial. 5 seconds left in the semifinals. The Cavs down 2 to Auburn. Ty Jerome not called for double dribble. Then a foul at the buzzer, giving Kyle Guy 3 shots at the line. He made all of them, and Virginia advanced. Cavs coach Tony Bennett.
I do feel for Auburn, but I feel better for us right now, and I'm just thankful that these guys stepped up and played the way they needed to, and we got through, survive and advance. I guess that's taken on a new meaning.
Midwest third seed Texas Tech, meanwhile, they handled Michigan State with stifling defense and clutch shooting to advance to the final. Tip-off tonight at 9:20. Michael Avenatti is taking on Nike, accusing the company of bribing Zion Williamson's mom. In a tweet on Saturday, Avenatti tagged Nike and Duke basketball with his claim that Zion Williamson's mother could have been paid a bribe by the shoe company for bogus consulting services to get her son to attend Duke. A statement from Duke Athletics said the school is aware of the allegation, and Nike said it will not respond to Avenatti's comments. On Sunday, Zion Williamson was named the Naismith Men's Player of the Year. Also at Duke, freshman Trey Jones posted an image of himself on Instagram Saturday night, shrugging his shoulders with the caption, "Year 2?" Sources on Sunday said that Jones plans to return to Duke for his sophomore year. This is NCN Sports.
For 32 years, Merlefest, presented by Window World, has delivered music, moments, and memories to thousands. Join us April 25th through the 28th as some of Roots Music's greatest stars gather to perform at the annual musical homecoming. Hear the Avett Brothers, Brandy Carlisle, Amos Lee, Wynonna and the Big Noise, Daly and Vincent, Tyler Childers, Kev Moe, the Milk Carton Kids, Dale McCurry, the Earls of Leicester, Sam Bush, Steep Canyon Rangers, Molly Tuttle, Jim Lauderdale, and more. Visit merlefest.org today for the full lineup, to volunteer or purchase tickets.
The Powerade State Games of North Carolina are coming this June to Charlotte. Registration is open for athletes of all ages and skill levels in 24 different sports. The Powerade State Games feature 13,000 athletes and 700 teams. Don't miss out on the largest sports festival of the year. Visit PoweradestateGames.org today. The Powerade State Games are brought to you by BB&T and Harris Teeter. For more information, visit PoweradestateGames.org.
The NHL on Sunday released a schedule for the first-round matchups of the 2019 Stanley Cup playoffs. The series between the Hurricanes and Caps will begin Thursday with games 1 and 2 in Washington. The puck will drop in Thursday's Game 1 at 7:30 in Carolina's first postseason appearance in 10 years. Head coach Rod Brindamore talked about being on the bench for it following their 4-3 win against the Flyers in their finale on Saturday at Philadelphia.
Well, it's felt different all year. Just, I'm enjoying watching the guys, have success. It's given me a lot of enjoyment. And the other night, when we clinched at home, just to see the pure joy that's there. It's, I don't know that when I played, I had that much joy. I was always, chasing something and always thinking about the next one. Now I get to see these guys, and I'm enjoying that part of it, how they've responded and how they're enjoying the run.
Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Afternoon temperatures will top in the upper 70s, and a few scattered showers will begin to move into the area after the 3 o'clock hour. Evening showers and storms will be possible. Some of those storms could be strong to severe and pack a punch. Temperatures will cool into the lower 60s and will eventually see clearing take shape once we get into Tuesday. Tuesday afternoon, expect highs in the mid-70s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
We still have pockets of fog out there this morning at 61 degrees, so please watch out for those pockets of fog as we go out by today. Today may get some rain later this afternoon, and our temperature expectations high today is 74 degrees. It's 8:30. Welcome to the Word of Faith Responds. This series of programs will address the issues concerning the negative news reports. This program is paid for by Word of Faith, and the views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the management and staff of WCAB. Now here is Word of Faith Responds.
And good morning again, and thank you for listening. This is Mark with Word of Faith Fellowship, and today I'm here with a very special guest, my wife, Holly. She's back. She was here some programs ago and shared her testimony, but today we want to share with you about marriage. We've been married 23 years, and God has blessed us with a wonderful marriage. But we have seen a lot over the years and learned a lot over the years about how God wants a marriage to be filled with love, joy, peace, and actually free from strife. Yes, I said that. Free from strife. Now, as a family law attorney, that is what I do. I am primarily a family law attorney. I practice law here in Rutherfordton, and I deal with divorce cases every single day. As a matter of fact, each day I meet with many people who are going through marital struggles. And one thing I've seen over the years, I have people come to me. Some people have been married maybe 1 week. Other people have been married maybe 50 years. And they come and their lives are falling apart. Their spouses have left them, or maybe they've left their spouses, or maybe there's just no way they can stay together. And they begin to come and they share with me the devastation that has happened in their life as their marriage has fallen apart. Many of them are angry, many of them are upset, many of them are bitter, they're hurt, and they have come because they're devastated with their marriage falling apart. And many of them have reasons that they can point at the other spouse, and sometimes they have long lists of things. This is how the spouse has treated me, and some of them have admitted to me, this is what I did wrong. Many of them have gone to psychologists and counselors and try to get help, and they'll tell me that did not work. And so I have this day in and day out. I see marriages falling apart. Everybody knows that the divorce rate is very high in North Carolina. Even in this county, it's very high, and throughout the United States. And so there is one thing that I have learned through our marriage and through relationships even before we got married, and that is that it is truly impossible to have a true, loving, godly marriage without Jesus Christ. And so many times I share with people, if God leads me to, I share with these people that come to me and they're devastated and they're wondering, what happened to my marriage? And I share with them that if you do not have a relationship with Jesus Christ first, you cannot have a relationship with somebody else the way God intended you to have. And that's the bottom line. And so I begin to share with these people that it first starts there. Now, here's how it works, and here's how we've seen it work in our life. And God has done so much for us. When you become a Christian, when you are truly born again, what happens is God begins to change you, and He makes you into His image. That's what it says, His image. Now, you remember probably reading or hearing in the Bible that God is love. That's something you see maybe on bumper stickers and here and there, but the truth is that God Himself is love. The very essence of love, everything that encompasses love, everything about God is love. When you see the world today and anything that is good, anything that is kind, it comes from God Himself, because God, His very nature is love. And so when we are born again, as the Bible talks about in John chapter 3, and that means that we believe in Jesus Christ with our heart, we surrender to Him, and He comes into our life, and we give our life entirely to Him, then what happens is it says that He sends the Holy Spirit to live inside of us, and we begin this wonderful relationship with Jesus Christ Himself. Now here's how this affects us. You begin this great relationship with Jesus Christ. Remember that I said that God is love? So now you have this relationship with Jesus Christ Himself being love. Everything about him is love. And it says that he actually will come and live inside of us. He makes his home inside of us. So you have God Almighty, who is love. Everything about him is love, and he comes inside of you. And so now all of a sudden you are filled with this immense love. And it says in Romans 5 verse 5, it says, Christ's love is shed abroad and it is poured out in our hearts through the Holy Spirit. Now that's amazing when you think about that his love is actually, it's literally poured out into our hearts. So we become a different person. We are now these people that have love poured out in our hearts. So that's how you're going to love your spouse. Now, so many people come to me with these broken marriages, and what I see is they have tried to make it work. They have all of these problems, and by the time they get to me, there is an enormous list of, well, they did this and they did that, and they didn't show me love when they were supposed to, and they treated me this way, and sometimes things escalate and things get very serious. But what they're missing is they're missing the fact that you have to have a relationship with Jesus Christ first. So when you have the relationship with Jesus Christ, all of a sudden now everything, all of your other relationships work. Now it takes both. So you as a husband or wife need to have this relationship with Jesus Christ, and his love is, remember I read, it's poured out in your heart, and your spouse has a relationship with Jesus Christ, and the love of God is poured out in their heart. So what happens between the two of you? Well, remember, you are one having a relationship with Jesus Christ, and now you both have this love poured out in your hearts, his love. And what happens when you're with each other? What happens with each other throughout the day? When you're with each other, talking to each other, when you're doing things together, you all of a sudden have this love poured out for each other. Now that is God's true love. Now there's a counterfeit in the world of a false love. There's a counterfeit of so many people coming together because of maybe something they see in a person that looks good. Maybe it's lust. Maybe it's well, this person looks the way I want somebody to look, so that's why I'll marry them. Or maybe they have money, or maybe they're good at sports, or maybe this or that. But that's not the true love of God. The true love of God is something so beyond that. The true love of God is overwhelming, and it always sees the good in people. It is always full of hope, it's full of joy, and it believes the best in people. It's always patient, it's always kind. And we'll get to those scriptures. So that is the essence of really a relationship between husband and wife, but beyond that, that's the relationship between everybody in our lives. So I want to start off with reading a verse in John chapter 17, and this summarizes everything that I have just said to you, and actually summarizes the very core of your relationships. Now, if you will listen to this, and if this will become part of your life, as I've been praying that it becomes part of my life, you will find your relationships becoming how God wants them to be. So here's the verse, John 17, and in verse 21. Now Jesus was about to go to the cross. This prayer he is praying to the Father was literally the same evening when he was going to the cross. It's a very important prayer. So let's listen to what he says. He says, he's praying to the Father, and he says, Father, he is praying that they all may be one. Now he's talking about us who believe in him. And he said he's praying for the disciples that were with him. And then he goes on and he says, and I'm also praying for others. I have others that are going to come. And that's all of us that believe in him. He says, I'm praying, Father, that they all may be one, just as you, Father, are in me and I in you, that they also may be one. He is praying for us today that we would be one. Now, he goes on and he says, just as I am one with you. That is amazing that God is actually praying Jesus is praying for us that we are actually going to be one. Now that's one with each other. Now that means one with your husband or wife. That also means one with everybody who's a believer, your family, your people at your church, your brothers and sisters, your friends. He's saying, I'm praying that they be one as you and I are one. Now the Father and Son, everybody knows who's familiar with the Scriptures, is one. It is the Godhead, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. They are one sovereign God. And he's saying, just as I am one in you, Father, that they would be one in each other. Now that is close. That is close. That oneness is very close. And it goes on and he says, I in them. Now he's saying, Jesus in us, and you, Father, in me, in order that they, the believers, may become one and perfectly united with each other. So he uses the word perfectly united with each other. Now that's amazing, to have a marriage where you and your spouse are one, just like Jesus and the Father are one. And it goes on and says that they may be perfectly united. When you are perfectly united with your spouse or any other relationship that you have in your life, there is absolutely no room for separation. This oneness is how God intended relationships. But do you remember what I read? It only happens because Jesus said, I in them, and that they may be one with each other. So when your spouse has Jesus inside of them, and your spouse is one with Jesus, and then you, as the husband or wife, you have Jesus inside of you, and you're one with Jesus, you become one with each other. So do you see? The common denominator is both are one with Jesus, and then we're one with each other. This is the essence and the basis of a relationship. This is what he prayed right before he went to the cross for all of us.
And I know one thing, when Mark and I 25 years ago first started to become even friends, one scripture that God put as a foundation in our relationship was in John 15. And it says in John 15 verse 12, this is my commandment, that you love one another just as I have loved you. So that tells me right there, I need to love my friend at that point just like Jesus loved me. It says, no one has greater love, no one has shown stronger affection than to lay down, give up his own life for his friends. I do not call you servants any longer, Jesus said, for the servant does not know what his master is doing, but I called you my friends, because I, Jesus, have made known to me everything that I have heard from my Father. And I have revealed to you everything that I have learned from him. And so that told me, if Jesus was my friend and he was making known everything he heard from God and telling me, that's the kind of friend I needed to be to Mark or to any other friends I had if Jesus was living in me, because he's our greatest example. He's the one we follow after. If that's the kind of friend he was, that's the kind of friend I needed to be. So that's where I started asking Jesus, show me, how do I want to hear what you have to say to me, Jesus, so that I can make it known to Mark, to all my other friends. And in that, there's no selfishness. I mean, it says right there, lay down, give up your life for someone. You're not aware, you're not thinking about yourself. You're caring about that other person. You're caring about what you can do for them. And also, if you're being a friend like Jesus was a friend, you're not going to say something that's going to hurt them, that's going to wound them, that's going to cause them to take an offense. You're going to say what Jesus is telling, just like he's telling you. You're going to say the very same things to your friend at that point. And even to this day, this is a scripture that we keep as a foundation. He's my friend, and I want to speak to him everything that Jesus has spoken to me. Another scripture he gave me is in 1 John chapter 4, verse 7. It says, Beloved, let us love one another, for love is from God, And he who loves is born of God and is coming progressively to know and understand God. And that's where Mark was just telling us. I mean, if you're truly born again, that foundation of love is there through everything. No matter what you face, no matter what you have to come up to, and no matter what you have to walk through, there's always that foundation of love. And it goes on to say in 1 John, he who does not love has not become acquainted with God, does not and never did know him, for God is love. It's his very essence. That's the very foundation of who God is, and when he's in us, that's your very foundation, is that love. And it says in verse 18, there is no fear in love. And I can tell you, in the relationships, there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of distrust a lot of times. It's because that foundation of love of God is not, if you have that, it's because you don't have that foundation of love inside of you. Because it says there is no fear in love. But love actually turns fear out of doors. It actually repels fear from you when you have that love. And so he who is afraid has not reached the full maturity of love. So when you have that love of God, you don't have fear of rejection. You're not looking, so many people look to relationships, they look even to in their marriage for that person to fulfill or to be something that relationship wasn't meant to be. That is supposed to be filled by Jesus. That satisfaction, that longing, that security should be filled by Jesus. Not because no person's ever going to feel that in your life. There's always going to be something that it can't fill. So that's where you need to look to Jesus to be the one that's going to fill that place in your life. And then out of that, when he's full in you and he's got that foundation in you, you don't have fear of rejection, because I'm not looking to a person to meet that place in my life, because Jesus has met it, because Jesus is that essence of love. He's the foundation of the love that's in me, and out of that place, that's all I can give. I don't look, it doesn't matter how that person responds, how that person acts, that love in me is being met by Jesus.
And Holly, you were talking about how people do look to other people to satisfy. They look to other people to solve their problems. They look to other people for security, and that's where so many times the relationships fail, because people are flawed and they're going to fail. But when your relationship is focused on Jesus and the other spouse's relationship, or the other friend, if you're friends, or whatever relationship it is, if your relationships are based on Jesus Christ, and if the other person or the other spouse makes a mistake, then both of you have Jesus Christ, and both of you can turn your hearts to Him, and both of you can repent and get your hearts right and walk through every situation that you have together. Even if one party makes a mistake, if one party does something wrong, you have Jesus to turn to, like you said. So you're not looking to somebody to be perfect to satisfy. You're not looking to your husband or your wife to satisfy you, like you said. But you both acknowledge that you have Jesus Christ, and He's the one who's perfect, and He's making us, as we walk with Him, perfect. And I love how you were sharing about in John 15, even about when we have Jesus and we are true friends to each other, we speak the words that He says to each other. And that's what it said in John 15. I tell my friends what the Father has said. Well, we should tell our friends what the Father has said, just like you read. And that is such an important key in all relationships, is do we speak only what the Father has said, like Jesus said? Well, Jesus did it. He only spoke what the Father was telling Him to speak to His disciples. And He said, you are my friends, and so I tell you what the Father said. Do we do that with our friends? When we have friends in our life and our spouses, do we tell them only what the Father has said? Are we listening to God before we open our mouth? So many other times that I've seen with couples that come, or relationships or marriages that come to me for help, where they have fallen apart, it's words. Our words have power. The Bible says the power of life and death are in the tongue. And so when you say something to your spouse, or you say something to somebody else, and it's not what God wants you to say, what happens is it brings destruction. And have we not seen that in relationships, where you can have a relationship with somebody and you say one thing that you should not have said, and it creates so much hurt. It creates devastation, and it even brings relationships to the end. So it's so important that our words are the words that God gives us to speak, and that way we're going to be bringing each other closer to Jesus.
And you can also see too, it's so often when you do not have Jesus in you, you want to, if someone does something, you want to respond back to them out of what they've just done. You want to answer back, or you want to be frustrated with them. But when you have Jesus' love in you, and that's where you can see, even if you were not born again when you first started the relationship, and Jesus comes into you and you become born again, that response so changes. It doesn't really matter if the person does something that was wrong, or does something that would in the past want to frustrate you. When you have Jesus living inside of you, your natural reaction at that point is how he would react, and that's what comes out of you. You don't lash back at the person, you don't speak back at the person, you don't get frustrated with the person. You speak what Jesus, just like he told us in John, you speak what he would say to us when we do things wrong, how Jesus speaks to us, or how he shows us. That's how you respond back to somebody else.
That's right. And 1 Corinthians 13 talks a lot about that in verse 4, and some of you may be familiar with this, but this passage is such a key, and it describes the details about how God's love is. Now, you remember I was sharing with you that when you are born again, it says that God's love is shed abroad in our hearts. It's actually poured out in our hearts. So we want to know, what is this love like? Well, this is a great passage that describes this love. Now, this is a passage, especially for people that are married, to have this and pray, God, work this in my heart. Work this love in my heart. Maybe read it with your spouse often and pray together. God, work this in my heart. But in verse 4, 1 Corinthians 13, it says, love endures long, it is patient and kind. Now, we can just stop there and we can talk for a while about that, but as you are married to your spouse, I think that everybody has seen that the devil wants to come in and just try to wreak havoc in your marriages. Everybody who's ever been married could know that the devil wants to come in. Why? Because the devil hates marriages. The devil hates the unity of the family. He hates the fact that God had ordained a husband and wife way back at the beginning. You remember God created Adam, and God said to Adam, it is not good that he is alone. And so he created Eve. Well, that's true today. And God has called people to be married, and so he has blessed us with spouses. And so what happens is God ordained this, and the devil hates it. And see, God's plan for marriage is that the two of us become one, like I read in John 17. We're one with Jesus, then we're one with each other. And what happens is we end up serving God together. The devil hates it. So what does the devil want to do? He wants to bring separation and division, and he wants to destroy these relationships. How does he do it? He does it so many times by something called strife. That's right, strife. Now, how does he do it? Every single day, he's going to look for an opportunity to put something in your head or your spouse's head to all of a sudden be agitated or aggravated or judge or become bitter. Sometimes it may be something as simple as, well, they didn't go do
take the
trash out or the laundry, or maybe they're sleeping more than you are and you're getting up and doing this or that. Or maybe it's about money, and maybe some spouses, I hear this a lot, spending money when the other spouse didn't want them to. You have so many situations that happen all throughout the marriage. Believe me, the devil is right there to point it out. The devil wants to speak to one spouse and say, did you just see they didn't pick those weeds that have been out there for a long time, or they didn't do this for a long time, or look how long. So the devil is there to try to wreak havoc and bring what's called strife and division and separation. Now, I'm reading to you now that the love of God says it's enduring long, it's patient and kind. So what happens when the devil comes to you and he says, did you just see what your spouse did? They left that trash out there, or they left this dirty dish rag, or they didn't do this. What happens when you have the love of God in your heart? Well, what you do is you listen to God when the devil comes, and you say, God, how do you want to handle this situation? Maybe the spouse did not take the trash out, as an example, when they should have. Well, you go to Jesus and you say, Jesus, how do I help my spouse in this situation? And what happens when you do that is you feel love for your spouse. You don't feel agitation, you don't feel angry, you don't feel bitter. You feel love for them. But you want to help them because they also are learning, just like you, how to live a life that is godly and walking with Jesus Christ. And when you become born again and the Spirit of God lives in you, you still have a process. The Spirit of God's inside of you, but remember, the Bible says that He is making us into His image and we're progressively coming to know Him. But this is a process as God brings us into His image. So sometimes you may have lived one way before. God comes into your life and He is changing you. The Bible says to walk out your salvation daily. We're progressively knowing Him. So when you have these situations come and the devil says, did you just see what they did? When you're born again, you have Jesus Christ inside of you, and you're going to feel God's love. You're going to feel His patience, and you're going to feel His kindness, and you'll be able to go to your spouse, and you're going to say, now, this is how we need to do this, and let's get it right, because we want to walk with Jesus Christ, and we want everything to be right in our hearts. And when you go to them, you're going to go in such a place of love that your spouse is going to feel the love of God. They're going to say, you know what, you're right. I should have taken the trash out. Thank you for helping me. Now that's marriage. I don't know, maybe it's foreign to some of you, but God has ordained marriage to be just like it says in 1 Corinthians 13. Love is kind. Think about how you talk to your spouse. If they didn't take the trash out, do you go to them and are you ready to lash out at them? Are your words coming out in kindness or are your words coming out in anger?
Or I've seen too where maybe it wasn't the first time you don't say anything. Maybe it's not the 5th time you don't say anything. But by the 10th time, all those things that you've bottled up and you've let bother you and you've let build up in you come. You can't keep them bottled up forever. They're going to come out at the person, and that's what I've seen too. It may not be, it's okay, everything's okay, but eventually it comes out, and you end up, if you're not letting 1 Corinthians 13, if you're not praying, Jesus, I want 1 Corinthians 13 in my life. I want to speak what you say out of 1 Corinthians 13. I want that in my life when I speak with my spouse. If you're not, it will come out. Those things, they eat at you, because just like Mark said, that's what the devil's there. He's always there talking to you and telling you and making you notice things that to build that up so that it does come out.
And one of the keys that we've seen it in our lives is when the devil comes like that and he wants to make both of you just feel just ready to gnash out. Remember that God Himself is inside of you, working in you, and He is the one, when you turn to Him and you surrender Him, you say, God, I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to feel anger towards my spouse. I don't want to feel this bitterness and this frustration towards my spouse. And you turn your heart to Him and you go to your spouse and you tell your spouse, let's pray together because the devil is trying to come in and bring strife. You turn your heart to God and you pray with your spouse. And you pray together and you pray, God, we don't want to have strife. God, we want to walk with you together and we want to walk in love. Help us in these situations. And when you do that, if you feel that strife coming and you turn your heart to God and you pray in every single situation, you pray together, it's amazing how all of that strife and all of those feelings, it leaves you. And what you're left with is the true love of God. Well, we've ran out of time, but we appreciate you listening, and we want to encourage you that God has wonderful relationships for you in your marriage and every other area, and it all comes from a relationship in Jesus Christ. We hope that you will continue listening. This is Mark with Word of Faith Fellowship and my wife Holly, and we're sharing with you about what God has done. We're here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 8:30 to 9. Thank you for listening.